Hello, welcome to Reviews with Love, Christmas edition. So let's get right into the Lifetime movie, The Christmas Ball. Alright, this one's got Deirdre Mullins playing Claire, who is a lead ballerina. It's also got Caroline Langrish playing Claire's Aunt Bridget, and Nick Hendricks playing Liam, who is a professor and historian. Alright, so Claire, being a lead ballerina, every year for the holidays, she's got the lead role in the Nutcracker. But this year, she essentially gets fired. They tell her, well, maybe you should consider teaching. I think that's, where you're good for right now. And she's like, no, I'm a dancer. I don't want to teach and everything. But they say, well, we're still letting you go. We've got someone else now to take on that role. So she was basically fired, replaced and all that. So her Aunt Bridget in England ends up calling and checking up on her, and she's like, oh, well, they decided to give me some time off and everything. She lied, basically, to her aunt, and the aunt was like, well, that's wonderful, that's perfect, because I wanted to know if you can come to England and spend the holidays with me and help me out a bit. And she's like, okay, well, you know what, all right. So she decides to go to England, and then she discovers her Aunt Bridget wants to retire and would like to sell the house, but she wants it preserved as much as possible for generations to come. So she's got someone helping her, Liam, to try and speak to the Preservation Society in order to have them agree on preserving the family manor. So that's basically it. So Claire discovers that back in the day, Regency balls used to be held in the manor. So as part of the presentation, Aunt Bridget says, you know what, then let's have a ball along with the presentation for the preservation of the manor. So she was like, oh, great. So now Claire and Liam have to work closely together in order to bring this whole thing into working status and all that. So as part of it, Claire has to now teach the dancers, because her aunt is also like a dance teacher, and Claire now takes over for her because she's going to be busy with everything else. So Claire is now teaching the kids the dancing, and part of the ball is now she has to also teach them that age type of dancing. So that's really it. They're trying to preserve the family manor as much as possible, and they need that approval in order to do so. But all in all, Claire is discovering how much she really likes spending time with Liam, and Liam is feeling the same way. So that's about that. Alright, so my take on this is, it was good. It was a good movie. The Aunt Bridget was really funny, by the way, because each time she would try to get Liam and Claire to spend as much time together. At the same time, Claire is trying to set up her aunt with this other guy that her aunt seems to have taken a liking to as well. So they're both somewhat being cheeky with each other and saying funny things and trying to set each other up. So that's going on there between. So it's essentially a love story between the two of them, but I think I felt it more between the aunt and her love interest, as opposed to Claire and Liam. In my opinion, it felt like Liam did a better job of being a professor and a historian than the love interest in this, because it was so hard when they, it was like, there were moments where it's like, oh, okay, I guess, they have great chemistry. The whole cast had wonderful chemistry, don't get me wrong. As a whole, it was really great. But between Liam and Claire, the connection for me, as far as there was no passion on his end, it was him. There was no passion, really. It always felt somewhat disconnected. Like, oh yes, he likes her and everything, but there was still a bit standoffish, something about it. So I couldn't really say, oh yay, they're together, that's lovely, because I get that from other ones that were really good, and you know, the chemistry was just top notch and everything, but as a whole they're great together. You know, the whole movie, the whole cast, great, but I couldn't really get into their side of the love story between Claire and Liam. Just, yeah, I don't know how to really explain it. It was almost like there was just something missing. I wasn't really pulled in, if that makes any sense. I wasn't pulled into it. So, yeah, but as a whole, love the movie, love the cast, and all their chemistry together. But as that part of it, Liam and Claire, yeah, I couldn't. I felt it more with the aunt and her love interest, as mentioned. Yeah, I felt more of that connection. Yeah, because it was almost like a surprise of like, when did they start really liking each other? Like, I'm sure I picked up on where it's supposed to happen. Like, oh, of course it was here, but feeling-wise, I didn't feel it. Not enough. I felt like he could have done better in translating that. There was always something that just felt very disconnected, in my opinion. But yeah, check it out for yourselves. I mean, let me know what you think. Leave a comment or something. But yeah, that's my opinion. That's my take on it. But yeah, overall, mentioned good stuff. Watch it. The Christmas Ball with Deirdre Mullins, Caroline Langrish, and Nick Hendricks. Alright, thank you so much for on Lifetime. Thank you so much for listening. Like, subscribe, hit notification bell, watch other videos, and see you next time. God bless. Later.